We're lost. Jason won't admit it, but I can always tell by the way he walks, striding ahead full of confidence as if he absolutely knows where he's going. Somewhere up on the last ridge, we should have followed the trail back down across the valley. I'm sure of it. But my husband insisted there was another great viewpoint above Scarhouse Reservoir before we looped back towards Pateley Bridge. But then the clouds had closed in, and before we knew it, we were in the middle of a December downpour. Hard, cold rain driven by the lashing wind. The path all but vanishing beneath our feet. For an hour after leaving the pub, the six of us had been chatting as we walked along. But now the rainstorm has forced us into a trudging single file, heads down, gloved hands in pockets. Jason is up front, Christian close behind him. The other three are strung out along the ridge behind me. I check my watch. Alfie should be home by now, assuming his train was on time. He'd promised to send a message as soon as he got back, but of course, when I pull out my phone, there is no signal up here in the Dales. Raindrops spatter the screen, and I push it back into my pocket. I tell myself again what I'd thought on the little platform at Settle, waving my son off as the train pulled away. It's normal that a 17-year-old wants to go home and spend New Year's Eve with his mates. He doesn't want to be stuck here in the middle of nowhere with his mum and dad and their boring friends. He'll be fine. We walk on through the rain. My trousers are soaked, sticking to my thighs, and the rain is starting to leak through the shoulders of my jacket too, the collar damp against the back of my neck. I think about the warm cottage, the log fire, a hot shower and change of clothes, a gin and tonic. A couple of hours from now we'll be back, warm and dry, getting dinner ready and preparing to celebrate New Year's Eve. Ahead, Jason abruptly turns off the ridge and starts to scramble down a track to the right. It's barely a track at all, really. More like an indentation made by sheep. A narrow gouge in the rough grass that winds through rocky outcrops on its way down into the valley below. "Careful," he calls over his shoulder, most of his face hidden by his hood, his voice half swallowed by the wind. "It's a bit treacherous." "Are you sure this is the way?" He gives me a thumbs up and continues to pick his way down the hillside. Christian follows him, and I do the same, sliding on wet grass and almost losing my balance. I turn again to check the other three are following us before gingerly making my way after my husband. There are no signs, no way markers, no wooden posts telling us where the path leads. No other people either, just sheep that scatter when we come near. I make my way slowly, carefully, feeling the old twinge in my knee that always comes back on a steep downward slope. In places, the path widens into a stretch of deep mud, and I almost get stuck a couple of times trying to make my way through. Jason and Christian are already way ahead of me. After a few 100 meters, the track levels out a little and turns rocky until it reaches a stream rushing through the bottom of the valley. On the far side, the thin, gravelly path turns to run alongside the water, curving up and around into a stand of trees. My husband is on the other side of the stream. It's only a couple of meters wide, but it's moving fast, icy storm runoff rushing over the rocks. He gestures to a handful of flat stones standing proud of the water, holding out his hand so I can reach for it as I make my way across. "You okay?" he says. I give him a nod. "Where's my brother?" He indicates a dark opening in the rocks ahead, where jutting slabs of limestone form the opening to some kind of cave. Christian is sheltering just inside, perched on a large rock, drinking from his water bottle. I follow Jason in, grateful for the respite from the downpour. He reaches into his jacket and pulls out a map.